Okay, I want to break down the different wefts and just show you guys what to do, what not to do, why they're different, why you would use it, all the things. Hand-tied wefts are in a category of their own. They still have the return hair, but the way that you stitch them down is going to be totally different. The way I stitch it is very similar to a Genius weft or a Volume Genius weft. These ones you can't cut though, so do bear that in mind. I just uploaded a video on your anchor stitches for your machine weft. So whenever I'm talking about a machine weft, I'm talking about a volume weft or a traditional weft, and something like this from Bellamy, which is going to be your flex weft. So these anchor stitches are going to be different because you are able to pierce through the spine of the weft. Genius weft, volume Genius weft, they're the same but kind of different. The reason that they're different is your volume Genius, you get a lot more gram weight. Think of it as a volume weft or a flex weft, but in a Genius weft form. Your Genius weft is going to be like the better looking older sister of a hand-tied weft. You can cut it, you can stack it, doesn't have any return hair, really, really thin at the spine. And if it's between a hand-tied and a Genius, I much prefer using a Genius. Okay, I just got asked about the stitching for the volume weft and the flex weft that I just uploaded. So the reason that I was saying that they're different is because you can't pierce the spine of a Genius weft or a flex hand-tied weft or a volume Genius. The only spine that you can pierce is going to be these two. So your flex weft, your volume weft. Think of these like a traditional machine-made weft. It is something where the spine is a lot more robust and it's not going to break down. So you do have that capability of piercing it. The other reason why you would want to pierce it is because it's so much thicker and longer here. So you have to have an anchor that's really going to lock down the top of that weft and also the side of that weft. The reason why someone might use a flex weft over a volume weft is because your flex weft is a lot thinner. So your flex weft is going to be about 30% thinner than your traditional volume weft. I still love a flex weft. I still need it, sometimes I need a specific color or my client needs a lot of volume. That's where I would use a flex weft. The biggest downside to any sort of machine-made weft, and this is not brand specific, this is to do with any sort of brand that has a weft like this, it's going to be that return hair. So the return hair is annoying, it's itchy, it's uncomfortable, and it holds onto that water. So it's not going to dry as quickly as a hand-tied or a Genius weft. So something that is brand specific and brand exclusive is going to be this Volume Genius weft. Your Volume Genius weft has the exact same gram weights as, for example, a flex weft or a volume weft or any sort of machine weft. The difference with this is it doesn't have return hair. It's the flattest type in this technology. And the spine is a lot shorter than a traditional machine-made weft. What you are going to notice about this and why you have to pivot your stitches is this is going to be a different spine entirely. So it's a Genius weft, which means it has that polyurethane coat on it, so you can't pierce through this. You could try, it's going to be difficult, and also you don't want to damage that spine of the weft. You don't want to cause it to shed or to tear apart. So the reason that I don't pierce it is specifically for that reason. If my client is buying a weft, they're spending a lot of money on the hair. So I know that with the install, I need to do everything possible to protect the durability of that hair. So keeping within that Genius weft family, this is going to be a Genius weft. This is a Covey Genius weft. You might also have your Bellamy Infinity wefts, or pretty much every brand now has some version of a Genius weft. The reason that I love the Genius Weft is it doesn't have any return hair. It's like the better looking sister of a hand-tied weft, and you can cut it. With your hand-tied, you can't cut it and it has return hair. This has no return hair. It dries so much quicker, doesn't hold on to moisture at the root. The spine doesn't hold on to moisture because it's polyurethane, and you can cut it. You can stack these, you can layer these, you can have multiple colors on a row, and that's probably why I reach for this the most out of any weft that I use. I feel like the Genius is the one that I always tend to go for. Next up is going to be your hand-tied weft. Again, this is not brand specific. I feel like every brand has a version of a hand-tied weft. This just happens to be a Bellamy hand-tied weft. The reason that people might like it is because it is a lot thinner than a flex or a volume. The one thing is it does come to size. You can't cut these. It is hand-tied onto these 3 tether threads, so you can't cut the weft. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to shed and fall apart. Another thing is it does have return hair, so it does still hold on to moisture at the root. Some people like the return hair because it gives them volume at the root. Other people don't. I personally don't. I find it really itchy and irritating, but it's just an option that you have. Hand-tied wefts a lot of the time are something where you have to do a lot more folding because you can't cut them. People ask me what my favorite type of weft is, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's always going to be a volume Genius and a Genius weft. If I can, those are the ones that I'm going to utilize the most and use the most for my clients. The reason that I like the Genius weft is because it works for fine, medium and thick hair, because you have full control and full power of how much weft you're going to put on that row. The reason that I like the volume Genius weft is because it is like a hybrid of the Genius and a volume weft combined, and it's so easy to install, and it's going to work really well for clients that have medium to thick density hair. If you are someone that really wants the option of doing a hidden row, you can do that with your Genius weft, but another way that you can do it is by combining your volume Genius and your Genius. So you would do a volume Genius on top, and then underneath you would do that Genius weft. If you are someone that maybe you just like working with a volume weft or a flex weft is what you feel comfortable with, I would say that there are ways that you could kind of pivot the install. You could do a hidden row. Again, like with the volume Genius and the Genius, you could put a flex weft on top and a Genius weft underneath. Or if their hair can't handle that much weight, you do have the option of deconstructing that weft. So where that weft is triple layered and triple stacked, you can go in and deconstruct it and put the different layers on top and underneath. I would say it is like a little bit of extra prep work for you, but it is worth it. However, again, if I am having to do that, if I find that I'm having to deconstruct the weft, it just makes sense for me to do a Genius weft. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and it helped answer all of your questions. If you have anything that you wanted to ask me, leave it in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I've got lots more informative videos coming for you very soon. Chasing you. Baby, no. The challenge is to keep the love, make it last forever, maybe. Should have known right from the start.